Honorable Madam Speaker, Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Leader of Opposition, Honorable Members of Parliament. Madam Speaker, the members of the House would be aware that science education has been in the forefront of the national news lately, especially on issues pertaining to declining enrollment numbers in science subjects, especially biology, physics, chemistry at upper secondary levels, and percentage passes that leave a lot to be desired. For this very reason, Madam Speaker, I rise to inform the honourable members of the House, one, the position and robust content of the science curriculum being implemented in our schools. Two, to point out the varying mechanisms in place to support this curricula. And three, to draft how students' science engagement and proficiencies can be enhanced and enriched through these and other mechanisms, and so reverse the downward trend that science education seems to be heading to. When I speak at the outset, I want to let you know that this is not only a problem in Fiji, it's a problem throughout the world about low uptake of science education by students, Madam Speaker. But we can't be complacent, Madam Speaker, we need to take lead. Madam Speaker, globally countries are now squarely focused upon exploring and initiating developments and progress based on scientific development. In fact, Madam Speaker, last weekend there was a march throughout America and Australia as well about contributing to more science-based policy making, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the focus has never been greater than in this century, where giant strides has already been achieved worldwide in terms of new discoveries and experiments. With science and technology development, innovation has seen the epitome of human invention. A lot of human contemporary issues or even threatening complications from the past are now eliminated through science and technological innovation, Madam Speaker. Serious threats to humans in the form of land, air, space, food, water, luxury are now removed with new developments. Just last month, Madam Speaker, UNESCO facilitated a meeting of education ministers of the Pacific region in Samoa to discuss science and technology policy making in the Pacific, which signifies the new movement towards science education in the region, Madam Speaker. Everyone now, Madam Speaker, is now getting to understand the importance of science-based policy making or policy making based on scientific methodology. But to do that, Madam Speaker, we need to have science knowledge. Madam Speaker, the national science curriculum emulates this concept of building on prior knowledge of students, and this is seen in progression of knowledge being introduced from early childhood to year 13, Madam Speaker. In these valuable moments, I wish to help the honourable members realize that this progression of delivering rigorous, inquiry-based teaching and learning will set our young people on the path to becoming the next generation of scientists, engineers, and medics. Madam Speaker, in view of Fiji being signatory to the 2030 Agenda of Sustainable Development, it is well fitting that sustainability is a cross-cutting theme in science curricula to ensure its longevity and it being a driving force to shape and set our young scientists on their way to scientific prosperity. And for many young people, interest and accomplishments in science will turn out to fuel and propel their overall commitment and consequent success in school. Madam Speaker, I am unable to emphasize enough the importance of science education. Indeed, I echo the sentiments of the Scientific Advisory Board of the United Nations Secretary General that, and I quote, "Science is fundamental in meeting the challenges for sustainable development as it provides the foundations for exploring new approaches and technologies to identify, clarify, and tackle local, regional, and global challenges. Science is inclusive in that it segregates no one, regardless of race, creed, or location, is the medium by which all people link to the environment and to activities in their daily lives. It is cross-cutting in nature and may be found in arts, other subject areas, it develops literacy, numeracy, and technical skills," unquote. However, Madam Speaker, as I alluded to earlier, the interest or seemingly lack of it in schools, as evidenced by the declining science enrollments and underperformance in external examinations, is a cause of concern for teachers, educators, stakeholders, partners, and tertiary institutions, and indeed the wider business and industrial workforce. To the extent, Madam Speaker, I had a meeting with recently the Dean of the Science of University of South Pacific, raising her concern about declining number of students coming to the college, to the faculty in USP, and Madam Speaker, and her willingness to support us in motivating students to uptake science education after year 10. Undeniably, the statistics paint a downward movement trend for science education and the future of science in the nation. Enrollment statistics in 2017 all show a decrease from 2016 in biology, chemistry, physics. Madam Speaker, if you look at year 11 biology, in 2015 we had 4,424 students. 2016 went down to 3,984 students. This year, further down to 3,021 students. Chemistry, year 11, 2015, 4,457 students. This year, down to 3,018 students. So similarly, Madam Speaker, to look at year 13, biology, 2015, 2,736 students, down to 2,228 students this year. Chemistry in 2015, 2,936 students, down to 2,234 students. Physics in 2015, 2,051 students, down to 1,269 students. Madam Speaker, if this trend continues, then in another 10 to 15 years' time, we'll have difficulty in having adequate number of science teachers, difficulty in having nurses and doctors, etc. in Fiji, Madam Speaker. The situation is really bad in some other Pacific Island countries. For example, in Marshall Islands, Madam Speaker, there are only 12% of the teachers are qualified in the subject area to teach. This is the level of shortage of teachers they have, Madam Speaker. But we are not in that situation now, Madam Speaker, but we can't be sitting and be complacent about, but we need to arrest this problem, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the preconceived ideas that science subjects are difficult, that there is a lack of career opportunities in science field in Fiji and the region, parents pressurizing the children to adapt career choices that are more readily available and less complicated to attain, and simply because of the low interest level of students into science from an early age are some of the main contributing factors to this, Madam Speaker. Unfortunately, Madam Speaker, there is this notion amongst children in early years of high school or later part of primary school that science is difficult, Madam Speaker. And this is one of the major problems that we need to break through, the mindset of children that it is not really difficult, Madam Speaker, and that there are opportunities out there in science, huge opportunities out there in China in terms of employment, labor market, as well as, Madam Speaker, pay structures. Madam Speaker, and this has contributed to poor performance also in science subjects because, those students who have entered science, they have this preconceived idea that chemistry is difficult, physics is difficult, biology is difficult, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, some of the effects of lack of science development in any nation are the poor ability to deal with contemporary problems in certain areas. While other global nations are tackling national issues and constraints to development of science, Pacific Island states are lagging behind in many fronts, Madam Speaker. Inventions all over the world in areas of health, food production, safety, business, production, productivity, and human welfare has made tremendous strides. This then permeates into policy making, but it's less scientific rigor, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, if you want to undertake solid policy making, the policy making should be based on scientific rigor and therefore of solid scientific content, Madam Speaker. There are also difficult protocols for scientific advice during emergencies. This could be in the areas of reliable communication technologies, disaster management, food storage and preservation, water purification, desalination, water testing, personal hygiene, waste disposal, etc. There are lack of scientific expertise for EIEs, Madam Speaker, environmental monitoring and rehabilitation, lack of scientific capacity to deal with environmental disasters, chemical spills, shipwrecks, etc., droughts, infrastructure development, maintenance. Often, Madam Speaker, we hear from business sector saying that we don't have this kind of expertise, technical know-how in Fiji. And this is not only peculiar to Fiji, but entire Pacific region, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, with climate change, global warming, and sea level rise at our doorstep and threatening to vastly change the routine of life in the Pacific, the rise to other very difficulties is evident, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the Ministry of Education, Heritage and Arts takes a very serious approach to these figures and with the strongest possible and gravest intents aims to turn these statistics around by changing mindsets and strengthening science standards in curricula and assessment and providing opportunities that expand science time beyond the classroom, thus making connections to real life and assisting students in thinking about potential careers in science and ultimately their future. Let me briefly review for the floor how science education curriculum works today, Madam Speaker, before I get into some of the strategies that we have adopted explicitly to raise students' interest in science education. Madam Speaker, a child entering any early childhood education center around the country will encounter science in the form of play, information regarding the field of environment, and the sound, smells, and sights around them are relayed through play. Discovery and investigations are the way to learn for kindergarten students. As a child progresses to year 1 to 3, the curriculum focuses on familiar themes and allows the child to draw from their own context, thus making learning responsive, relevant to the learners. The new syllabus continues to enhance interaction and the development of many skill sets. Learning at this level of early primary, Madam Speaker, is child-centered and inquiry-based. The basic science is for learning strengths of living things and environment, matter, energy, earth and beyond at year 4. And these strengths are developed through to year 10. In the higher primary, the key learning areas of the curriculum now challenges and empowers students to use scientific processes to develop an understanding and appreciation of physical and natural systems and apply their knowledge, skills, and attitudes to enable understanding and make sound judgments. Madam Speaker, basic science is compulsory to all students entering secondary school at year 9. When students reach lower secondary, their skills, knowledge, and attitudes are further enhanced with new concepts. Madam Speaker, there is more. The new practical components of science that complements the teaching of concepts in classroom and engages students to develop important skills, enhance their appreciation of scientific investigation, and further develops the understanding of the science concepts. What is science without practical and experience? Madam Speaker, we have also distributed science kits to primary schools so that we raise among students the interest in science at the primary school level, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we have also developed external partnerships through stakeholders and organized competitions and national activities. Students have the opportunity to explore beyond the classroom at many levels and are many times rewarded handsomely for themselves in the schools. Further, these activities are a bigger classroom. Participating students are part of the national and international conferences of national and global initiatives such as renewable energy or ocean anti-pollution or World Water Day celebrations, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, 2 weeks ago, our Minister of Education, Heritage and Arts launched the first ever National Science and Technology Competition 2017, targeting year 9 students only, Madam Speaker, because this is the crucial year where the students make a decision whether they want to branch out into science or commerce and arts, Madam Speaker. So this national competition in science and technology that we have launched, Madam Speaker, is for year 9 students, Madam Speaker. The competition is aimed at generating and creating interest and enthusiasm and bringing attention to the many captivating and fascinating fields of science, Madam Speaker, that students can explore and eventually make a very rewarding career out of, Madam Speaker. So, all in all, Madam Speaker, it's about raising the interest, arousing competitions, giving them information that opportunities exist, all kinds of opportunities exist, Madam Speaker, and how science has become now in the forefront of policy making, Speaker. Madam Speaker, there are 9 sub-themes being explored in the competition. These are climate change, renewable energy and recycling, food security, transportation, health and personal safety, biodiversity and conservation, environmental issues and sustainability, risk reduction, and management and entrepreneurship. There are 4 categories of competition, Madam Speaker, and these include 1, poster competition. This will be individual student work, with each school submitting their best entry for the divisional level judgment. Second, model competition. Students may work in groups of 3 to 4, with each school submitting their best entry for the divisional level judging. 3, scientific investigation and report competition. Students may work in groups of 3 to 4, with each school submitting their best entry for the divisional level judging. And 4, team quiz competition. Each school will field 1 team consisting of 4 students participating at the divisional level competition. The competitions will be judged at the divisional level, central, western, northern, and eastern. 5 winners will be declared for each competition in each division, and prizes will be awarded to winners at the divisional level. From divisional winners, 1 overall national winner will be selected for each competition and awarded as well. With these school-based competitions now being rolled out in all secondary schools at year 9, we are factoring the development of a renewed interest for future science movement in students. Madam Speaker, textbook and other resources, including teacher guides and handbooks, support teaching and learning by putting into students a compact but comprehensive package of all basic concepts in the key respective learning areas. Both students and teachers are encouraged to further research into these concepts during teaching time, aligned to syllabi, the contextualized for students to make content and scope of syllabus easier to follow. These resources are provided free to charge each child. Further, all documents pertaining to external examinations for all science examinations include marking schemes, and examiners' reports are made available on Ministry of Education, Heritage and Arts website to assist teachers and students in teaching and learning during revision. Madam Speaker, in light of having graduate teachers with mismatched subject combinations, the Ministry of Education made several strong recommendations to tertiary institutions to ensure that they offer appropriate subject combinations in the teacher training program, so that we have a good set of teachers in our schools. Madam Speaker, we have also increased allocations for topper scholarship for science areas. In agriculture, we had in 2014 6 students. Now we have about 11 or 12 taking every year. Bachelor of Engineering, in 2014 we had only 35 students. Now this year we offered 60 scholarships. Certificate for aircraft maintenance, in 2014 we had only 2 students. Now we have about 8 students every year. In the medical program, initially we had about 161 students in 2014. This year we had 189 students taking medical program topper scholarship. In the computing side, Bachelor of Necessity in Computing, we had 1 in 2014. Now we have about 19 students, new students. BSc, we had 7 before. Last year we had 23, and we have 6 more this year, Madam Speaker. Software engineering, we had 14 in 2014. We have now have 25 new this year. BSc, GCED, 17. We have another 13 this year. So, all in all, Madam Speaker, we are seeing a gradually increase in the science area. We are in terms of our allocation for toppers, and this will motivate more students to choose science as an option after year 10. So, Madam Speaker, starting this year, we are preparing for more support to our schools and students who want to take science as an option, but I think we need a national movement that will raise the importance of science education and how opportunities are there for students who take science as an educational option in their high school system. Thank you.